Hi everybody, today I wanted to talk you through two really good stretches for the hamstring. Now traditionally one of the most common stretches that people do is just to put your leg up on a table and to bend forward. The problem with this hamstring stretch, it does get part of your hamstring, but it's actually getting a lot more in your sciatica and your lower back, and it's not getting all the places that you need. Now I'm going to take you through two stretches that get into those hamstrings a lot better. Now it's a problem that I've had with mine, shortened hamstrings, a lot of runners do. So this is tip number one, now stretch number one, is to put your leg up on a chair or something of this height, and instead of straightening it out and bending from the waist, try this. Go down with your chest onto your knee and hug your knee. Right, and now start to pull back on the chair. You can lift your foot up to get a bit more leverage, and you can feel it really deep in the center of these hamstrings, so you're not so longer getting any down into your sciatica, but rather on the actual hamstring muscles. You've got three big hamstring muscles there, and by doing that sort of a movement you get much more of a stretch. Now as usual, if you're doing a static stretch, try to hold it for at least 30 seconds, and towards the end of that 30 seconds you can push it a little bit harder and just get a little bit more out of it. Now second thing that I've found, and this is not really just a stretch but myofascial release, is to lie on the ground, one knee up, pull this towards you. Now get your fingers and dig them in as hard as you can into the muscle. Now you've got three strings of muscle going up there with hamstrings. Now when you pull straight, you'll feel you're getting in there. I want you to push in there as hard as you can with your fingers and go up and down and work your way along that hamstring. And it gets right in there and it helps to release, because what happens, a lot of these hamstring, the muscle fibers get stuck together. They get stuck on the fibers get stuck together, and they really need something to get in there and start massaging it and releasing it, putting it in layman's terms. So when you've done that once up the center, move it to the side and do the same thing, and you can get right in there. You can do it a little bit slower than I am, but you will feel things starting to pop. Then go to the other side, the outer side, and see if you can find that other groove. You're getting really deep in there and you'll feel it almost popping. And that's a really good release for those hamstring muscles. So, two stretches for tonight for your hamstrings, or two things that you can do if you've got tight hamstrings. One, up on the chair, hugging your knee and pulling backward. The other, using your fingers as a myofascial release tool. So if you have a ball, you might have seen us using one of these before to get into places all around to release the fibers. That's great, but in that case your fingers are going to get in deeper, because your hamstring muscle is a really big muscle and you have to get in really deep, and this doesn't quite cut it. So use your fingers. That's it for tonight. We'll see you again shortly.